Hello. Today we're doing a presentation, presenting a lesson on control presentation. The, we will be defining the functions of controlling in an organization. My name is Hubert Prout. I'm a student at National American University. There are several types of basic control. In each case, organizations establish control in many areas and use different resources to achieve these levels. One area of control, these are areas of control and basic resources. They consist of physical resource, which includes inventory management, quality control, and equipment control. Next is human resource, cover placement, training, development, and compensation and appraisal. Next is information resource, which covers the sales, marketing, forecasting, environmental forecasting, public relations, and economic forecasting. Finally, financial resources. This includes managing the organization's debts, cash flow, and receivable payable. Organizations use control so they can make their goals and make sure their goals are being met. What is the purpose of control? I've quoted, regardless of the negative connotations of the word control, it must exist or there is no organization at all. And this is by McNamara C. No date. Okay. Business needs to be able, end quote. Business needs to be able to adapt to the environment changes. Control needs to limit the number of errors in production. Control also needs to cope with complexities within companies. Control should minimize costs and at the same time increase output and productivity. Steps in management control process. Establishing standards. These standards are targets for subsequent performance. Measure of performance. In a performance measure, they have measurements and the measurements of operation and productivity that they can use data to go by. Compare performance against such standards. This step is to measure the highs, the lows, and the in-between. It means where you have set up your graphs to where you found out what works and what doesn't work. Consider a corrective plan of action when you're using control. And one would be to correct the deviations in your highs and lows, change the standards, or do nothing and just stay the course that you have been going. Action accountability. Action accountability is a form of feedback control system that allows employees to be held accountable for their actions. With the implementation of action accountability, a control system is a requirement that they, of course, must put limits on acceptable behavior by employees. Quote, if independent areas of authority are not established, specific action accountability control system cannot work, end quote. This is by Merchant K.A. 1982. Record the behaviors that employees have actually been involved in. Have a system that will reward or punish those who deviate from the defined limits. And always never forget the focus of these objectives, which is to motivate employees to have to behave in an appropriate way for your future of your company. TQM, total quality management. This is a comprehensive structural approach to organizational management that will improve product quality and service. Quote, an accurate control system revises standards from time to time to match them with environmental changes. End quote. And this is by Pajaro S. 2013. TQM can be defined separately by a particular organization or adhered to with established standards like International Organization of Standardizations, ISO 9000. The best thing about TQM is that it can be applied to any type of organization, even though it was originally implemented for manufacturing sector. It has been adopted by many other organizations to help them as well. One of the best qualities about TQM is that it is based on quality management in preference to customers' point of view. So it looks at the total input of what customers say and what they need. TQM, financial and budgeting restraints. TQM's financial and budgetary restraints and control is a process in which managers are able to look at their businesses in various ways to keep them on track. Management creates financial and budgetary planning tools to help them monitor where the business stands at regular intervals. When the variations in the budget are detected, appropriate action by management is required to make sure the business can get back on track and stay with their plan. TQM's implementation roadmap of the developmental sequence. Documenting process. The key reason for documentation is to have something to analyze for improvements. Data collection and process measurements. In the data collection and process measurement, the analyzing of data is key to keep the process improving. Problem finding and solving process is a structure approach is required by most businesses. By using a 5-step problem steps, the problems can be helped by defining a problem, identifying the root cause, select the best solution, develop an action plan, and verify plans results. Quality stabilization process. I have a quote. Quote, a key aim of TQM is customer satisfaction. The focus of customer satisfaction, in turn, is to understand and meet or exceed customers' requirements. End quote. And this is by Pajara S. 2013. Take these action steps to the highest level of quality control, and it will help improve companies to have less error while improving in productivity. The roadmap will help any organization that intends to reach the maximum in institutionalized quality development. The summary of TQM control is to remember that the purpose of TQM control is to provide organizations with methods to adopt with environmental changes, limit the accumulation of errors, help cope with organizations' complexities, and to minimize costs. Quote, Controlling involves ensuring that performance does not deviate from standards. Barrett T. End quote. Barrett T. No date. The ultimate responsibility of these controls rests upon the managers who work within these organizations and how it is applied. Thank you. This is my presentation. Also, tell you that on my last slide, there are references that you can use if you would like to get more information on this. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Okay.